Hey Practicum, it's week 14, almost at the end. Let's take a look at the schedule for this week. On Monday, it looks like we have Megan and Nick are coming out to teach some nature study programs to the charter school. And it looks like Jordan will actually be meeting Linda later on in the afternoon for the after school program. So, just as a reminder, if you're doing the after school program and assistance with Linda, to look on D2L right on the discussion board, you'll see there's a after school program discussion. It's your responsibility to do a reflection on those. So, Jordan, you'll be up for Monday to do that. And for Megan and Nick, what I'd like you guys to focus on is the properties of water in winter. So in last year with some of the students, we actually took some water and we froze it in shallow pans and actually made like almost like stained glass, like thin sheets of ice. That does require a little preparation in advance, but it's something that you could do. We also took water balloons and filled them with water and froze them overnight and then placed them out in nature, and we had some stories and some songs that went with that. So just think about maybe an artistic way that you might be able to work with water and maybe freezing water, or if we do get snow again this week, maybe you can utilize snow and do some snow sculpture with them. But that's what I'd like you to kind of do with the students, those kindergartners. And you do also have a goal for this week too. Think about your audience and how it is that you want to be perceived. Or do you feel like these kindergartners, are they seeing you as a teacher? Are they seeing you as a friend? Are they seeing you as a comedian? Think about how you come across to those students and write somewhere in your lesson plan how you would like to come across to those students, how you would like for them to perceive you, and maybe one way in which you might be able to do that. Maybe you want to be perceived more as a teacher, so you might have a little bit more of an authoritative stance, or the way that you practice your classroom management. So that is your goal for writing when you're writing your lesson plan. Include that too. Tuesday, it's kind of a unique planning day, project day. We have this how to run an EE center day. So each one of you is going to be responsible, that's coming out on Tuesday, to submit 3 to 5 questions. Email them to Scott so that he and I can both review your questions and think about some responses. These can be questions, anything about how to run a center. What is it like to do the budget? Questions about scheduling, questions for me, questions for Scott, anything that you have about SWES and how best to run the center that you might still be wondering, and then we'll spend that day talking about those. We're also going to be doing some summer camp planning. So in your mind, at least, and you don't have to do this on paper, but it might help, is I want you to come up with a list of wants and needs that you think a summer camp might have. And we are going to take those wants and needs and come up with a list and create a budget for this year's summer camp. So that means that you're also going to have to estimate what you think the costs might be for some of these wants versus needs. And then lastly, I want you to review your personal growth objectives, that assignment that you wrote in the beginning of the semester, because I'm going to be out and I'd like to just grab a minute or two with each one of you and see how your semester is going and hear from you about how you're meeting those objectives. So that's a big day for Tuesday. And there's even more planned, because we'll be starting to do a little bit of brainstorming on potential grants, because we'll be going the following week to the grants library to do a little research. So we need to do a little brainstorming. Some of that might happen as well on Wednesday, when Travis, Emily, Sam, Nicole, and Trina are out here with Linda, and then Sarah and Molly will be meeting Linda for the after-school program. And then Thursday, it looks like Emma and Emily will be meeting Linda out here, and then going to Iola for the after-school program as well. So it's a lot of off-site things that we're doing this week. Remember, again, if you're doing the after-school program, to do your discussion on the discussion board. Otherwise, I think that's it. So if questions arise, send me an email. Otherwise, have a great Thanksgiving and enjoy that time, and come prepared to talk a lot next week and also teach a little bit if you're here on Monday. Thanks.